candy season in the item she's bought. Hangs her purse from the clothesline that's taut, while in the alleyway it waits to be caught. In the group home they haven't learned to listen yet. They jump rope in the stairway over missing steps, gather tombstones then promptly disinfect, wash off every single endless list of debts. And she's at the center of it, getting wiser, sitting on the floor with the cozy bed beside her, hooked up for hours to the nebulizer, watching herself walk across the tension wires. Please don't leave, she chants to the guard, running past church pews in the junkyard. The details are far too many to disregard, replies the doorman with his acne scars. She's grown too big for her treehouse chair, the shoddy upholstery is beyond repair, and in her holster is her remaining pair of barrettes. She trades them in for the Lord's Prayer. He's careful, he knows she's delicate, her mouth is worn but instinct is celibate. She cranks out sketches and claims you resemble it, but there's no time to argue or to settle it. They meet in the factory with a pint of bourbon, collapse the shutters and go behind the curtain, tremble in each other's arms to find the verdict. The doorknob's there but no one tries to turn it. Then I came in with my disheveled looks, bragging about how I read several books, hung my coat on his metal hook and introduced myself as a fellow crook. Never did I take it, never did I ask, never did I try to drive home a point. Never did she say to never come again, never should have spent a night in this joint. Seldom do I show up, seldom do I speak, seldom do I bring my dumb self to move. Seldom did she warn me about being close, seldom I'll admit there's something left to prove. Better off without it, better off alone, better avoid this unnecessary hurt. Better off than succumbing to the hormones, better off if I let myself be courteous. Never did I take it, never did I ask, never did I try to drive home a point. Never did she say to never come again, never should I spent a night in this joint. Seldom do I show up, seldom do I speak, seldom do I bring my dumb self to move. Seldom did she warn me about being close, seldom I'll admit there's something left to prove. Better off without it, better off alone, better avoid this unnecessary hurt. When the bads outweigh the goods, 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 when the bads outweigh the goods. Growing wired, I'm at the foot of the silo with the rest of the winos. It's too humid to just sit and look stupid. All there's left to do is to rot and be useless. Prove this through Silas, who might never kiss again. He went to take a rest, they labeled it laziness. Now they're barring down with all sorts of discipline. Silas just wants to lay back and sip his gin. Raised in the coal mines to be a gentleman, the local whores accused him of being a poor excuse. He's got a couple debts and he's got hell to spend. Plus he can't even afford to run and tell his friends. Caught the first rig out, made sure his hands were clean. The pain he's in seeps deep and stains his skin. Into the Carolinas, no gates to stand between. On the outskirts of town he meets Evangeline, a gambler's daughter who seems on the fringe, with eyes of amber and lies to tamper. They greet well and head to the pond to swim, telling of routine binges that tug on their limbs. Another poor excuse makes its way home again. Another poor excuse makes its way home again. Another poor excuse makes its way home again. Another poor excuse knows no friends. Evangeline says, I know the grind, been through it before, don't wanna do it no more. The stucco walls they found are too low to climb. They eat their supper, sigh, then throw the rhymes. Silence moon, then repeat the process every afternoon. But it fails, they're pulling a wide load through a narrow hell. Both don't care that it goes nowhere. They were in the carnival when the sparrows fell, shaking too bad to get off the carousel. So they settle on doing whatever sounds fair, lose their innocence and become promiscuous, bathe in the fountain that resides in the town square. And that type of behavior ain't accepted around there. Another poor excuse makes its way home again after another failed attempt to begin. Another poor excuse makes its way home again after another failed attempt to begin. Another poor excuse makes its way home again after another failed attempt to begin. Another poor excuse knows no friends. When the phone book's full but no one's there to call, and you make pacts with citronella flames, realizing nobody wants to share it all because they're afraid you'll crack and then tell their names. The aluminum can you left half full is rested on my desktop smeared with lip gloss. The jester's jokes echo through this castle, ranting and raving till the roof gets ripped off. And when you stop by, your face was disfigured. You wore a uniform and lost a few pounds. Conversation was dull when we walked through the vineyard. You were up in arms about breaking new ground. 2 towns over from here I stumbled across, spent the day loafing outside the rec center. It was there in my stomach, I felt the rumble of loss, but didn't turn home. I like this dialect better. I felt at ease and my pants fit well for once. Hair was greasy, unkempt, and shirts were sleeveless. No one attempts to reach me. As usual, I can't sit still. Can't remember the words to the Pledge of Allegiance. Meet me near the Black Prince Distillery, and you'll soon have your fill of me. Meet me near the Black Prince Distillery. Pick a card, any card, and we can have a killing spree. Meet me near the Black Prince Distillery, and you'll soon have your fill of me. Meet me near the Black Prince Distillery. Pick a card, any card, and we can have a killing spree. When the phone book's full but no one's there to call, and you make pacts with the wood grain at the point of giving up, so you let loose and bear it all. But you can't stay inside just because it could rain. Got myself a ride thanks to the gypsy cab. Though he's not very social, he openly tries. Probably feels obligated since the tips are bad. His eyes squint in the rear view like he's got soap in his eyes. It's my own fault, didn't mean to be bothersome, but he's not ashamed of the things he's asking me. Handed over 5 cards and said to swallow them. Successfully took 2, but gagged on 3. The last vision was him, batting his sad eyes. I just hid behind my aviator glasses. Felt as if I'd recently been baptized, then felt unsure as a crazy neighbor passes. I'm pulled aside by a guy in a blouse, hands me an invite to his humble abode. Then he accused me of being a spy in his house, so I showed him I had no microphones under my robe. Scattered my thoughts while citizens stood by. In New Jersey it's near impossible to find a phone booth, near impossible to come by a good lie or some proof or a fib, let alone truth. The night acts like it's trying to be gentle, but in reality it's only uneventful. The night acts like it's trying to be gentle, but it's really only uneventful. The night acts like it's trying to be gentle, but it's really only uneventful. The night acts like it's trying to be gentle, but in reality it's only uneventful. Meet me near the Black Prince Distillery, and you'll soon have your fill of me. Meet me near the Black Prince Distillery. Pick a card, any card, and we can have a killing spree. Meet me near the Black Prince Distillery, was 4 years ago. I've managed to stay in good spirits though. Here we go, now maintain, don't freaking be nervous. I sit on the floor begging for heat from the furnace. Fill my requests, still I'm a mess, and willing to guess I won't get any service. Fill in my chest, stand still for a sec. Will the children confess what I did to deserve this? They think I'm purposely breaking character. Yeah, like I'm going out of my way to embarrass her. Exactly, sir, you read me like the Herald News. Discovered my motives and uncovered my clever clues. Whether you like it or not, I'm about to damn it all. Sick and tired of lacing my lunch with ambisol. Can't we all see it my way before I make my departure? My ma always told me, don't be a martyr, which makes it harder to sweet talk the riddles. I swing a pocket watch, swagger and whistle. Breathe easy, check my pulse with a pistol. Rose petal bullets by the fistful. I'm a romantic who panics from moon to setting sun, constantly aware of what needs to be getting done. She calms the nerves and says I look pretty. I tell her she's handsome, she thinks I'm witty at random. A romantic who panics from moon to setting sun, constantly aware of what needs to be getting done. She calms the nerves and says I look pretty. I tell her she's handsome, she thinks I'm witty at random. Envelopes cover the table, willing but unable to completely forget April. So I thought Maple Place would be somewhat stable. On arrival it proved to be that much harder to move. I'm a green neon sign that bleeds vacancy, extra bright and blaring cause of this pale face you see. An empty home is a damn haunting place to be, especially when you find your strongest ties in the hamper. And all I can do is wait here, deteriorate, coming to the conclusion my biggest fear is with fate. It's just me and my faith, sitting here in debate, spraying and sending your get well soon card with perfume. I clenched tight to what you said about keeping it together, and what kept me assured in belief it's getting better was your voice, your face, through the bleakness of the weather, along with your candor and the comfort in your answer.
you.
Your slogan, sweet, laced with chaos. The brim of your hat, collecting raindrops. And me capturing strands of hair and corduroys. Standing on the mailbox, waiting for Mina. You said you'd be quick, pound and leave. I hope you haven't let them roll down your sleeves. Please spare me the details when you do return here. Your chicken scratch postcards serve to reaffirm fear. I'm stuck in the sap of the images you conjure. Eyeliner applied, your hood and your posture. The kids back home stampeding your flower patch. And the sands are bleeding from the cracks in your hourglass. Shallow acts of compassion were sent from your mother. Your modesty gave the impression that I was your lover. And though I'm bored with the loss of your closeness, I'm anxious for you to pick apart my neurosis. She left the mistress on my mattress. She needs a fix, so she's leaving. She's got riches like an actress. It's over kicks when she's cheating. She's guilty and she knows it, but she's silly when she speaks. I'm filthy and corroded, but when I built it, it was she who fixed the leaks. She kisses with a chokehold, another kill. She's got him totaled, keeps detailed accounts for her own pleasure. Reads him over during the cold weather. Whether or not she receives credit for it, they could at least express better courtship. But me and her are well aware who spoke the best. We discuss it in between sheets and broken flesh, but don't contest. Soon enough they got it given. She don't lose sleep, keeps up eroticism. Asks me questions like, how does terror feel? Couldn't answer till she fell off the Ferris wheel. Joke's on me, she hangs with the clowns. Every acrobat, gypsy and dwarf in the town crowds the house with circles of tarot cards. I want suspense, she insists we stare at stars. And she's sneaky with her hair pushed behind her ear. On the low switches my turpentine with beer. It's acts like this where she'll piss on my trust. Makes me not want to miss her as much. She left the mistress on my mattress. She needs a fix, so she's leaving. She's got riches like an actress. It's all for kicks when she's cheating. She's guilty and she knows it, but she's silly when she speaks. I'm filthy and corroded, but when I built it, it was she who fixed the leaks. She left the mistress on my mattress. She needs a fix, so she's leaving. She's got riches like an actress. It's all for kicks when she's cheating. She's guilty and she knows it, but she's silly when she speaks. I'm filthy and corroded, but when I built it, it was she who fixed the leaks. It's easy once you convince yourself. That way nobody can understand you. She's got hang-ups and put-downs for when she's cornered. Takes a tall glass of pure water with every order. Her gutter mouth keeps you held to her belt. even if she swears she didn't plan to. She's got great passion, you got great foresight. That's why you end up reading letters by torchlight. But she promised it's never deliberate. Somehow manages to fall into things concerning herself with how to prevent hurt. Rather than returning truths and borrowed sweatshirts, she found the bad choice and relived it, with your wariness continuing. Faith is soaked in oils and adhesives. You're back home cutting your clothes into tiny pieces. Give me some time, it won't even matter. Too preoccupied not to move on. Don't expect to receive praise and worship, especially when you're being vague on purpose. Carry a lid to store up your laughter. Spend your holidays on a futon. That's what you get for finding psychos attractive. Thank God he was blessed with the gift of passive. Makes oaths that end their pleas. Has a stoic look that drops 10 degrees. Drives with two hands, don't smile, wears suspenders. Sleeps with shoes on and has a garage full of vendors. Been known to refuse paying any type of entry fees. The best of his money's been spent on remedies. He's a tetanus fence hopper with a farmer's soul. He'll put up with the party as long as he's got arms to fold. Before sleep you pour pennies in tube socks, shielding your shelter from burglars on rooftops. And you watch boots hammer the shingles and slide in the lotus position, counting your singles with pride. When walking alone, he hums away a doo-wop, gets comfortable and never gets a flu shot. His sentences are low, keeps things mysterious, prefers to trail off than make use of periods. Thanks for the company, it's been a real privilege. Given you won't tell us what the shank's for. He's humbled by the places he's been driven, with his feet bleeding from the nails in the plank board. Thanks for the company, it's been a real privilege. Given you won't tell us what the shank's for. He's humbled by the places he's been driven, with his feet bleeding from the nails in the planks. Hard liquor, parlor trickster, searching far and wide for a decent picture of he himself, gargling pride. Pushes head first through revolving doors, can't mind his business but involved with yours. And from his neck there's a scarf that flies, leading to the market packed with bargain buys. But the pressure you feel will fall into place. It's your standoffish attitude that's causing the haste. No advice will be given to influence his decisions. He's not going to apologize for the way that he's living. I clung to your laughter like the rungs of a ladder. Your face aches, voice shakes and shouts, what is the matter? There's plenty wrong, any song will give description to his skepticism, an adolescent prison. Rather than the shortcuts, he takes the same route, thinking this apathy will simply play out. Thanks for the company, it's been a real privilege. Giving you won't tell us what the shank's for. He's humbled by the places he's been driven, with his feet bleeding from the nails in the plank board. Thanks for the company, it's been a real privilege. Giving you won't tell us what the shank's for. He's humbled by the places he's been driven, with his feet bleeding from the nails in the planks. Rare as it is, you'll see his temper flare. They try to persuade him to treat September fair. Then he took his dividing rod, snapped it like a wishbone. Half cause he's pissed, half cause he needs to get home. He answers your question as a last attempt to care. Says there's no such thing as a friendly dare, but he dreamt that his weekends were in seclusion. He finds beer bottle labels to be quite amusing. He rides down the river in a gun barrel, watching the woods and his patience unravel, heading for destruction towards a bottleneck, asking God why he hasn't been swallowed yet. And God says that us humans, we always come fragile, with some fury, blood, some risk and some gravel. So my friend closes his doors and opens his blinds, knowing that river will turn to an ocean in time. Thanks for the company, it's been a real privilege. Giving you won't tell us what the shank's for. He's humbled by the places he's been driven, with his feet bleeding from the nails in the plank board. Thanks for the company, it's been a real privilege. Giving you won't tell us what the shank's for. He's humbled by the places he's been driven, with his feet bleeding from the nails in the plank boards. Somewhere there's a radio, playing low, barely picking up a reception, but it's leaving an impression on a kid that's on the nod, with a friend to wash his face. Whatever he's got, man, he's got a chronic case. God misplaced the car keys, and not until they're found will this room clear out. Till then, they're still around, so put a pillow down to ease the cold concrete. Fluids run through us at the saliva swap meet. He was always pedaling till he heard the metal scream. Settled into amphetamines nearby Edelstein's. Same story, bought his nightstand and ottoman too. It's kinda odd when he thinks of what he's gotten into. As always, it's the cruelty that makes the man. It's not soothing to shake a hand. There's sweat and there's residue, uneasiness that presses you. To this day I'm unimpressed by the morning gutter birds. It's the cruelty that makes the man. And of course, it's not soothing to shake a hand full of cologne and nicotine. It's like my own christening, but so sickening to see who will be the one to shudder worse. It's the cruelty that makes the man. It's not soothing to shake a hand. There's sweat and there's residue, uneasiness that presses you. To this day I'm unimpressed by the morning gutter birds. In the kitchen there's a radio, playing low. It's approximately time to go home, but no one is saying so. Someone lets loose with one bark of a cough. Someone else wanders the hall, disheartened and lost. And with each step in the wrong direction, the lights dim. Ponytails and leather straps are slowly tightened. Some girl resists, blood crusts on her cuticles. She's oblivious, but she's lucky, she's beautiful. Stuck with some company that I didn't even ask for. On the receiving end of advice I didn't even ask for. They tell me always remember to bring the water to a boil. And beware, don't raise all your daughters to be spoiled. bored, I couldn't stand it, moist and stranded. Gotta meet people, but my head's in a clam. Derelicts who cherish wit run around rampant, handing out shot glasses that turn to chalices. So far on the sofa, we've been crammed in. We can't fit in this apartment displayed like palaces. The walls are bare and my peers worship me, sitting in stolen chairs from the university. As they turn to me, their demeanors are false. They should focus energy on cleaning this loft. A cat was called by the coiled damsel. She went from being a pleasure to being a handful. Now she needs some company to take the ride, needs a companion to be stripped naked by. Virtues become shorter of your daughter. She's breathless, banished, scorned and bored, self-sufficient in the slaughter. It's her disorder. I'm waiting for the light to be restored. I adored her character when she was generous, but she's a pessimist, caught up in a frenzy. She wrestled his shirt and gave a tender kiss. The kitchen was empty, but she offered me plenty. We joined with the students, the potheads, the hecklers, the uptight drones and the coin collectors. Got rejected by the jester who works the door, like he's telling us things we haven't heard before. By now I'm battered, all that matters is gone. If the grass wasn't wet, I'd collapse on the lawn. The night's been molested, tippy-toe tested, messed with, and so now it might be neglected. The noise affected me like a narcotic, so I ended the day on a high note and put my hair up in a bonnet. The noise affected me like a narcotic, knocked out and revived, only to be despondent. The noise affected me like a narcotic, so I ended the day on a high note and put my hair up in a bonnet. The noise affected me like a narcotic, knocked out and revived, only to be despondent. Kick the habit, but you did it so well, till the shelves shook and the picture frames fell, and you yourself took things to new heights. Kept yourself busy for more than a few nights. You've had enough with being cruel and lost, getting adjusted to new schools of thought. It's been a couple days from the grueling cough, the pools of blood, mucus floods, and foolish talk. But if you could manage to do me a small favor, remove the wrinkles from your wallpaper, pass the salt shaker that you spilled on the counter, toss it over my shoulder for future encounters. It's a downer when the fetal position is awkward, and every man on the street sounds like a songbird, but they don't talk words, they spit garbage, pelting your skin to see which hits hardest. And you're a sensitive soul who gets plenty of flattery, scatterbrained at times but knows how to jump a battery. Swallow a lot of pride and it hurts in your chest, but we all understand you give your personal best. Your looks have decayed, can the sadness, put it away and then slam the cabinets. For every leaf you burn with that lens in your glasses, something special remains. And while you push to act your age, it's probably just a passing phase. For every grain of salt that enters your gashes, you show off your threshold for pain. You're wounded, and there's no need to prove it. We're used to seeing hipsters down on their luck. Your life was in shambles, so you up and moved it. but didn't even take the furniture out of the truck. How'd you get stuck in such a bad self-portrait? You blinked at the flash and now you're getting hell for it. Serves you right, serves you wrong, the service sucks. Don't tip, staring at the elixir but won't sip. And those secret desires you were taught to reveal took off with screeching tires, you lost your appeal. Peeling out fast, headed too far to be reached, leaving us guilt and skid marks in the street. We know you hold back questions when you're nervous, but we also stressed suggestions were encouraged. Those once were my words, now they ring true. Don't make me regret every gift I bring you. Your looks have decayed, can your sadness. Put it away and then slam the cabinets. For every leaf you burn with that lens in your glasses, something special remains. While you push to act your age, it's probably just a passing phase. For every grain of salt that enters your gashes, you show off your threshold for pain. Looks have decayed, can your sadness. Put it away and then slam the cabinets. For every leaf you burn with that lens in your glasses, something special remains. While you push to act your age, it's probably just a passing phase. For every grain of salt that enters your gashes, you show off your threshold for pain. Something's growling back, gather myself, reach to the towel rack. Face dripping wet, let me guess where I'm headed. Dry my chin, the towel smells like cosmetics. It wasn't me though, not on a Thursday. I know it's late when I hear what the birds say. When the newspaper delivery boy tosses the edition on your stoop and gives you a choice. Either turn in or continue on burning. Yearning for the bums who are drunk and seek homes. Doped up, scoping out for the merchants who ride the slopes of my sunken cheekbones. Keep on, the traffic never ends. The prices never drop, you can't quite afford to save a special spot for times when you're spent. When the cops push you home and the clock strikes a chord. They're dying for their heads to spin so they can retrieve the medicine. Destined to be bedridden, egg them on so that they know to let us in. They're dying for their heads to spin so they can retrieve the medicine. Destined to be bedridden, egg them on so that they know to let us in. Intent on staying up even when errors remain. Pissing on the toilet seat with terrible aim. Making a fool, no break to refuel. No city bus drivers to take you to school. The cold linoleum makes me slip. Cool petroleum on my lips. Deprivation will have you scream uncle before you're suffocated by the dust ruffle. They're dying for their heads to spin so they can retrieve the medicine. Destined to be bedridden, egg them on so that they know to let us in. They're dying for their heads to spin so they can retrieve the medicine. Destined to be bedridden, egg them on so that they know to let us in. I prop myself up against the vanity, expecting the porcelain to cause my hand to bleed. My reflection reveals an awkward slant to me. Alone in the bathroom, you see yourself candidly. And at that moment, denial hits them. Bombarded by the garbage, lost in nihilism. Try to sit in the same place for too long, and in time you'll find yourself humming a new song. The musky streets, it's a humbling experience. The ruckus peaks when each mumble is serious. coming to an end of your lucky streak, knowing there's covers and sheets to tuck beneath. I've been trapped by the typical trends, the foreseeable ends, the need to be cleansed. He jingles his keys, yawns, dropping subtle hints. I never sleep for fear of what I'll miss. They're dying for their heads to spin, so they can retrieve the medicine. Destined to be bedridden, Agamon, so that they know to let us in. They're dying for their heads to spin, so they can retrieve the medicine. Destined to be bedridden, Agamon, so that they know to let us in. They're dying for their heads to spin, so they can retrieve the medicine. Destined to be bedridden, Agamon, so that they know to let us in. They're dying for their heads to spin, so they can retrieve the medicine. Destined to be bedridden, Agamon, so that they know to let us in.